No lifetime should be lose in my behalf, and as well the ANC should never be separated in my behalf, he told for a popularly televised policy address environment. I include thus go to the judgment to abandon as CEO of the Republic in instant impact. Following his retire ad, Zuma told he disagreed in the judgment of his policy side and how he has ever been a disciplined term of the ANC. As I keep I will go on to be the human beings of Southward Africa as so as the ANC, the organization I include serviced all of my lifetime to, Zuma told. Zuma, 75, kept repeated attempts by opposition parties to displace him for his more than rather than 8-year in force, making him the moniker of the polytetrafluoroethylene CEO. The lead of the Southward African opposition side, Muzi Maimane, told it was on period Zuma obedient and how the ex-CEO should see his day in trial on corrupt practices extortion. He's on period how several shape of accountable is broken on Jacob Zuma and I believe how he has been a man destruction dribble to our economics, to our nation, Maimane told. Corrupt practices extortion recent year, Southward Africa's constitution trial orderly Zuma to return millions of dollars in social cash consumable on refurbishing his individual manner. He as well many faces more than rather than 783 concoction of corrupt practices regarding to a 1990s weapon transactions. Zuma denies all the corrupt practices concoction versus him. The ANC had been hard to shove Zuma out for months. It discarded him as side CEO in December, tightly electing Ramaphosa, a 65-year-old multimillionaire ex-association lead, above Zuma's privileged heir, his former wife and ex-office secretary, Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma. Ramaphosa told Saturday how the ambiguity above Zuma's next had corrupt the ANC. But in spite signs how the side was loser election supporting above the prolonged AMD, domestic divisions constrained Ramaphosa to trample carefully. For year, the ANC, that led Southward Africa out of apartheid, put side oneness at first, though as it became obvious how Zuma was an election obligation. The ANC told it requested to welcome the eminent deposit he has done and courier its deep appreciation to him for the part he has played in the African Domestic Convention covering above 60 years of loyalist facility. It recognized mistakes were done but praised his heritage of supply. The side told it was receiving his retire and expects every ANC term to throw a voice for Ramaphosa as its applicant for CEO. Ramaphosa was a shut friend of deceased CEO Nelson Mandela and wide forecasted to be his successor. Yet he lose out to Thabo Mbeki, an against apartheid lead who refundable to Southward Africa of expulsion. Ramaphosa leftward by the government quickly later, laid instead of to industry. With back to social lifetime he has speak out versus corrupt practices in the nation and has found considerable supporting in city areas, in the industry society and amongst ANC stalwarts. His poll as lead in December had grown hopes how same D be capable to recover voters' belief in the side that had been eroded by Zuma's rule. But Maimane of the more Democratic Association told his side thinks future changing is required. We don't trust Cyril Ramaphosa is the decision for Southward Africa, he told. The more Democratic Association wants Parliament to be diluted so the human beings of Southward Africa can question a crisp credentials. We believe how the ANC has been complicit in protecting Jacob Zuma and out of question we will put Striker a applicant.